I was amazed by the way the administration managed with the prisoner release to do as it did in the Cuban deal, to direct attention away from an absolutely disastrous transactions with the Iranians in the deal, so that all the intention is on the swap. I didn't have a lot of problems with the swap. There were a lot of details that could have been different, but ultimately it makes no difference if ours were hostages and the other guys had been tried in court. Sharansky was exchanged for 2 Soviet spies, and Sharansky was entirely innocent as well. To me, it was a non-issue. The real issue is, and all the attention was directed away, is that we have just concluded a deal that we are celebrating, in which we've given all our leverage away at the beginning with the cash, with the lifting of sanctions. We have a risible inspection regime, and there is no chance whatsoever of there ever being a reimposition of sanctions. The Iranians are talking about it, a 5% growth in their economy. It's been shrinking under the sanctions. And the Minister of Transport had just announced they are going to purchase 114 Airbuses from Europe, a perfect example of how they are now locking in all kinds of deals with the Europeans as a way to ensure that there will never be a reimposition of sanctions. We gave everything away, and we have guaranteed that Iran will acquire a nuke in about a decade.
Which is maybe why we're not hearing from any of the other European allies on the negative sides of the deal.
We're not going to hear from them again on this.
There is a lot of confidence coming from this administration when you talk about this deal. Here is the president Sunday about the stockpile.
Before the deal, Iran was steadily increasing its stockpile of enriched uranium, enough for up to 10 nuclear bombs. Today, more than 98% of that stockpile has been shipped out of Iran, meaning Iran now doesn't have enough material for even one bomb.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
It sounds pretty good, but it's misleading. Number one, we allowed the Iranians to self-inspect. We have no idea if that was 98% because we don't have a baseline. The IAEA was supposed to establish a baseline. It wasn't allowed to. And second of all, it's been given the right to enrich. The entire negotiation had been premised on the idea we're going to lift sanctions if it stops enriching uranium. It retained a right, which means it's going to do it in the present, it's going to do it in the future. In the end, I think Steve is right. What happened yesterday is that with the stroke of a pen, Iran went from a pariah state, unable to trade, to use the international system, to trade oil, to a state that is now a normal state, a member in good standing of the international community long before any of this starts. It is asserted to be a normal state as of yesterday, and we have no way of exerting any pressure on it if it cheats. And this administration has shown with the seizing of the sailors that it will do nothing to jeopardize this deal in the future in calling out Iran if it cheats. It's guaranteed to be cheated on.